Our first story, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, in consultation with the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, has increased pensioners' monthly payment by 10% beginning the 27th of January. What this means is that all pensioners on the pension payroll as at the 31st of December 2021, which was last year, will enjoy this increment. For example, pensioners receiving the minimum pension of 300 cedis as at the 31st of December 2021 will have their monthly pensions increased by 332.48 cedis. And of course, take a listen to the Director General. But before that, you do have some slides there for you to help you appreciate what exactly SSNIT means by this particular, new adjustment, the upward adjustment of its indexation by 10%. Of course, it gives a clear understanding of what the indexation is all about in order to maintain the purchasing power of pensioners. But take a listen to the Director General of SSNIT, John Ofori-Tinkran, explaining the factors that influence this upward adjustment.
We look at targeted inflation, and what that means is that we look at what the forecast is, what the inflation is forecasted to be in the year within which we are paying the pensions. So right now, wherever inflation is notwithstanding, I think my brother was throwing out the number of 10 point something. The targeted inflation, the forecast for inflation for the current year that we are in is 9.68%, right? Is it 9.68? Right. So forecasted inflation is what we're going to look at. And sometimes you may get it right, sometimes you may get it wrong, but in general, if you look at a historic plot of what we've done, we've tracked it very well. Sometimes a little overshoot, sometimes a bit of an undershoot, but in general, the trend matches it. So that is what we do. And then another factor we look at. Sometimes we also look at wage inflation, right? When we use part of people's premiums that they pay currently to also pay part of the pensions, in addition to using money from our investments and so on and so forth. So if you don't have contributors' salaries increasing at a rate that matches your indexation, or you do not have the number of people that are joining the scheme increasing, you may end up in a situation where there is a mismatch between the premiums that you are collecting and the payments that you are making.
Well, let's break it all down for you, because SSNIT has been given a detailed explanation into what exactly entered into the calculation of this indexation. And as you can see, when it comes to the redistribution, the fixed rate in this regard will be 9.68%. What this means is that the flat rate will go for 3.44 cedis, and it's going to be redistributed on the scale of 0.32%. And out of this particular, calculation, pensioners will receive 10% increment and more as a result of the redistribution. It further goes, ahead to break down, what this particular, indexation means to low earners. And we're gathering from your screens that, this is going to be a mechanism that is applied to an indexation rate to cushion members on low pensions in line with the solidarity principle of the social, distribution, impact model. Also, you've seen on your screens once again the minimum pension for existing pensioners. In 2022, this year, they're going to be experiencing, an adjustment, upward adjustment of just about 10.83%. So in 2021, those receiving minimum of 300 cedis in pensions will now be receiving 332 Ghana cedis in that regard. The highest pension receipt is what you're seeing on your screens right now. They're going to be enjoying a 9.68% increase over the 2021 highest pension category. And this is the amount you see for the highest paid pensioner in Ghana as we speak. He or she will be receiving 142,564 cedis each month beginning January, an increase, therefore, if you're looking at what they received in 2021. So this is the breakdown on what exactly SSNIT means by the 10% upward adjustment in its indexation model. Let's now bring in the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Retirement Research, Abdullah Mashood. We're grateful that you could join us on the program. How sustainable will this adjustment be when it comes to the SSNIT system in general?
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity, and good afternoon to your viewers. You're talking about sustainability. I believe you are looking at the impact of the increment or the adjustment on the sustainability of the SSNIT scheme. Yes, as the Africa Center for Retirement Research put out about 2 months ago, the scheme is on its knees, and those positions have been burdened by the past two actual valuation reports. Remember, we threw out that in 2014, when the actual valuation was conducted, it indicated that the scheme is the funds of the scheme is set for depletion by 2042. Then 3 years later, when another actual valuation was conducted, it brought the fund depletion date to 2037, indicating that the scheme is, the scheme solvency is being questioned. That notwithstanding, even though the scheme is, it's on its knees, we haven't gotten to the point where we have to be looking at cutting down benefits as a result of the scheme facing sustainability challenges. Let's remember, pension indexation is a provision that is made. It's a provision that has been provided for in Section 80 of the National Pension Act. It indicates that the Social Security Administration, in consultation with the Board of the Authority of NPRA, would index pensions annually by, on the basis of wage inflation or any other rate as may be determined by the scheme.
Okay.
So what we are saying is that in this case, it's clearly provided. Whether we like it or not, we have to index pensions. And the objective of indexing pension is to keep the purchasing power of pensioners constant, because prices of goods and services are increasing in the larger economy. So definitely you want to maintain the purchasing power of pensioners. So it is the objective for indexing pensions. Now, we need to ask ourselves whether the 10% overall that has been, that has been given for 2022 is enough. From where I sit, 10% overall indexation is not enough if you look at the larger development as far as economic indices are concerned. Prices of goods and services, if you look at all of that, you realize that the overall indexation that has been thrown out, that is 10% that has been thrown out by the Social Security scheme, is not enough. And I think we just have to look at it historically.
Okay.
If you take from 2012, what the overall indexation rates, you realize that, just hold on, if you look at the overall indexation rate for, I'll begin from 2012. It was 12% in 2012, 2013, it was 22.6%. 2014, it was 20%, it was 20% in 2015, 20% in 2016. 18%, then beginning from 2018, you realize that the overall indexation came down to 10% from a big figure of 18% to 10%. 10% in 2018, 11% in 2019, 11% in 2019. If you look at the trend over here, it is telling us that pensions have not been indexed enough. And what are the basis of arriving at the overall indexation rate? Before they arrive at the overall indexation rate, what actually happens is that they will have to do a whole lot of analysis on various variables, which includes average earnings of active contributors. It includes the operational performance of the scheme.
Great. I catch your drift, Abdullah. I catch your drift
perfectly. When you put all this together, that is how they arrive at the overall indexation rate.
Indeed. And of course,
I am telling you that from 2018, the overall indexation rate, out of which Are you with me?
Yes, of course, we catch the drift. And of course, the Director General has been explaining the reasons for the, pegging at 10% in its upward indexation adjustment. But we do know that, as you rightly stated, SSNIT is facing some issues regarding, among other things, a huge number of inactive contributors on the database. How can SSNIT strike the balance and ensure that they are much more in a positive outlook moving forward?
Yeah, so it boils down to the operational performance. That is what I'm telling you. Everything boils down to the operational performance. And, you are talking about inactive contributors. Then it means that what it therefore means is that they will have to keep up their compliance techniques. If you have a whole lot of people who are sitting there who are not contributing, it is not inactive contributor does not necessarily mean those people have lost their jobs or they are not working. Some people may be in there, their compliance techniques has not really gotten to such people. So, if you wrongly tag such a person as an inactive contributor, when the person is actually working, then it means it raises questions about our operational techniques that we use. Apart from inactive contributor, we are also talking about investment performance. Clearly, you see, what do they call it? In 2019, there was a negative, what do they call it? Yeah, there was negative investment, real returns on investment. 2020 is likely to be the same. 2018 was negative. So if we continue to register negative real returns on our investment as far as the operations, the operation of the fund is concerned, that means that we all need to be concerned, because operational performance of the scheme, especially investment performance, all those come together to derive the overall indexation rate. So if the overall indexation rate is coming down as we move into time, that means we all need to be concerned and call on the Social Security Administration to come up with what do they call better techniques in order to keep up the performance. Particularly investment performance. Once that is done, you realize that if they do the analysis, it is going to be favorable for them to come out with a better overall indexation rate. Assuming the overall indexation rate was placed as 20% as we used to have in the past 6 years, definitely pensioners would have been glad and it would have been called a victory. For pensioners going into 2020.
All right. Abdullah Mashood, we're grateful that you could join us with your assessment regarding the state of SSNIT amid its upward adjustment when it comes to the indexation for 2021 being 10%. Of course, Abdullah is the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Retirement Research.